Money counter gon' count up 100. Cut the check and I cry like an onion. Only focus on women and money. Being broke made me sick to my stomach.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's Lockie and Dez coming at y'all with another reaction video. As you can see by the title and thumbnail, we finna be watching the inconsistent strength of Dragon Ball. I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan. This is my GOAT right here. This is my glorious most high in anime. Love Goku, man. Love Goku to death. So we're gonna see. This video is by Uraza. Almost had dyslexia there for a second. Y'all not finna clip me. Uraza. Smaller creator. Shout out to you for this video. Let's see what you're talking about, man. The description says Kid Goku solos adult Buu Saga Goku, apparently. I wonder what you mean by that, my boy. Let's get straight to it.
So, I originally didn't plan on making this video, but during my previous video on Dragon Ball's inconsistent speed, several people suggested I make a similar video about strength.
I'm gonna have to
the
watch
more
that
I thought
one too.
about it, the more I realized there's probably even more stuff to talk about here than in the speed video.
If he's talking about okay, bet.
Dragon Ball loves portraying impressive
Jesus.
feats of strength. From the first chapter where we see Goku lifting a car over his head, to Vegeta's training at 300 times gravity.
Insanity.
Now, what do I mean by strength? Well, obviously punching power would be considered strength, but it's hard to scale how powerful someone is when they're punching an equally strong opponent. That's why the story will often have our characters portraying impressive feats of strength, so us the audience can see how strong they are.
Right.
Those feats will be the primary topic of this video.
Even this right here. In order to finish this off, you will be wearing these 40-kilogram shells and carrying twice the amount of weight as now. Now, I did a little research. I used to think these shells, these little turtle hermit shells were just so crazy. Let's just look up 40 kilograms in pounds. Guys, that's only 88 pounds. 88 pounds, Roshi. Kid Goku would not feel that on him at all. That would be like putting a feather on you, bro. He would not feel that. 88 pounds? Goku's weighted clothing gear, like, it weighs nothing to him. Toriyama
Now,
wasn't,
just like the punching machine from the
RP,
Buu Saga,
hey, RP Tori. But your strength, feet calculation things, your math wasn't mathing, my boy. It wasn't mathing, I'm sorry.
You should consider hitting that like button as hard as you can to test your strength.
Disclaimer, Uraza at YouTube.com is not liable for any damages sustained upon anyone's media device upon hitting said like button.
Okay, so as I mentioned, our starting point is Goku picking up a car over his head. It looks difficult
That's at
for
least
him,
a
but
ton.
let's say his limit is around 2 tons as our
Alright.
baseline. And right away we start to come upon issues. Roshi has Goku and Krillin wear 20 kilogram turtle shells for their training.
Bro.
This is an issue because 2 tons is 1,814 kilograms. So 20 kilo should basically be nothing for Goku.
Nothing,
But he acts
bro.
like it's a big deal. Following that, we see Goku and Krillin push the big boulder near the end of their training, which I wouldn't know where to begin to calculate, but I found a post where someone calculates it, and he said it would be close to 432 tons. Of course, that's followed by Roshi giving them 40 kilo turtle shells, which still isn't very impressive.
So
This
light.
brings us to what seems to be Dragon Ball's main feat issue. Toriyama will sometimes give us exact numbers per weight on something, but in the same scene, he will have our characters do something vastly more impressive without any specific numbers attached. The conclusion I think we should come to is Toriyama doesn't really understand weight measurements. He just says things that he thinks sound
Sounds
impressive.
good, yes. Yes, Toriyama. I know. I love Toriyama. I love you, man. Thank you. But Jesus Christ, bro. You wasn't thinking at all. He was not thinking. You just put them, Let's just
but
keep
really
going.
knowing how heavy
I'll be
40
pausing a
kilograms
lot.
actually is.
I like the yeah.
So I'm going to break up our feats into two
But Goku's
categories.
first feat is
Those
picking
being
up a car
actual
that's at
feats
least
our
a
characters
ton, bro. That's his
perform
first
versus
feat.
nonsensical Toriyama weight measurements. So that being said, current Goku's
Okay.
actual strength is being able to push 432 tons, while his nonsense strength is a bit above 40 kilos. Now, we don't actually get any tangible feats of strength for a long time. Our characters certainly get stronger, but it's always just in terms of being able to hit harder. After the World Tournament, Goku goes through about 4 major boosts in power during early Dragon Ball. His training with Korin, the time skip before the second tournament, drinking the Ultra Divine Water, and his training with Kami. After all of that, we finally get another nonsense feat.
Might talk about
during
the
23rd
weights.
Tenkaichi
Oh, here we go.
Goku reveals he's been wearing training weights that are said to be around 250 pounds, which is
250 pounds, bro. You're Goku. What do you mean? You don't feel that. None of y'all feel that. Not even just you, Goku. All of them. Oh my god, this shirt is so heavy. Bro, that's like a feather to you, gang. You could bench press a building. What are you talking about? You don't feel that.
only 113 kilos. Obviously, Goku wasn't struggling to carry this weight, but it's still only like 3 times heavier than the previous turtle shells, which, believe it or not, is actually consistent. If Goku's power level was around the hundreds during the first tournament, and he's now somewhere above 300, then being able to carry around 3 times more weight makes a lot of sense. Of course, 250 pounds still isn't that impressive, especially in the face of Kid Goku pushing 432 tons.
Shout out to the background music, by the way. I love me some good Dragon Ball music.
But it's consistent within its
This
inconsistency.
Budokai, isn't it?
Now, if we are assuming Goku got 3 times stronger over the course of original Dragon Ball, then Goku should now be able to push 1,296 tons at this point. However, this too is a bit
Jesus.
questionable. Early on
1,300
during the
tons?
story, 1,296 tons would have been impressive. But at this point, we have King Piccolo blowing away mountains, and later we get the ever-looming feat of Piccolo Jr. casually blowing up the moon while only being a bit stronger than our 23rd tournament Goku. Of course, those are all performed using energy attacks, which aren't the same as physical lifting strength. But are we sure about that? We see characters tank Ki Blast attacks throughout the story. If characters can tank attacks that blow up the moon, while also still being hurt by regular punches, then by extension, we have to assume our characters can produce relative force between their physical and ranged attacks.
Yes.
I'm not going to get into the math about how strong Goku would need to be to blow up the moon,
Right.
but just know it's like billions of times higher than a few thousand tons. So, in terms of quantifying, I will just say that Goku has moon-busting level strength. It's about time I present the theory that many people have probably already written out comments about. That
Let's see.
being the difference between your literal physical strength versus your Ki enhanced strength. Dragon Ball characters are only able to become planet busters thanks to the power of Ki. So, while I've dubbed the 2 types of strength nonsense strength and real strength, you could make a strong argument that these 2 categories are actually non-Ki boosted strength and Ki boosted strength. This is by far the
See, I don't know how true that is, though. Yes, obviously, they charge up their Ki to be stronger. I'm trying to think. Is it more so a holding back thing? Like they're holding back so much when they're not fighting that they're regular people? You know what I mean? Is that what it really is? Instead of being Ki boosted, non-Ki boosted, it's holding back and in fighting, like in fighting mode, I guess. I don't know, but let them keep cooking.
easiest way to explain all of these inconsistencies. However, I highly doubt Toriyama had this specification in
Not at
mind
all.
while he was writing the story.
Not at all.
But because it makes
Not even
significantly
slightly.
more sense, I'll refer to them as such for the remainder of this video.
Okay.
Moving on, we can finally slam down into gravity training, starting with Goku slamming down into King Kai's planet. King Kai's planet is 10 times Earth's gravity, so that would add like 1,800 pounds to Goku's body, plus the additional 2,500 pounds from his training weights. This Goku is only a bit stronger than when he was at the 23rd tournament, but he was pretty casually moving around back then. This scene implies that 4,300 pounds is around Goku's physical limit. This scene specifically really strongly
Wait, what that say?
100 pounds is around Goku.
This is close to 2 tons, so adult Goku is finally at the same level as his child self from chapter 1. But that's his non-ki boosted strength. But either way, yeah, no, that still doesn't make sense. Because was Goku using ki to lift up the car? No. That was just raw strength. Yeah, it's broken. It's broken. Yeah, it's broken. It's broken.
Goku's physical limit. This scene specifically really strongly implies that Goku can't make himself stronger with ki, as if Goku could do that, he would have just done it and caught bubbles instantly. I'm gonna add nonsense back to that title. Anyways, Goku gets another 20 times stronger from his training, and the Saiyan saga progresses normally. We see Vegeta threaten to destroy the entire planet with his Gallic gun, and Goku matches it. We know beams boost their users' power by 2 to 3 times, so Goku's punches should be at least 30% of that power.
Hey, shout out to you, gang. You playing some heat in the background, you making this video way better.
So, I don't think it's that controversial to put Goku's strength around planetary at this point.
Absolutely.
After that, though, the training gets even more intense. Goku levels up his gravity training to an eventual 100 times, which would mean he's training with a weight of 18,000 pounds, or 9 tons for comparison. Outside of Goku, we know First Form Frieza could flick away a planet, and his
With
final form is
super ultra
226 times stronger. So let's just say we are massively above planetary at this point.
Yeah.
Back on Earth,
Plus,
Vegeta boosts us once again by
Planet
maxing out the
plus.
gravity training at 300 times, which would make him roughly 27 tons. After that, we
Well, actually, this is just what Dr. Bruce says, but it implies Vegeta is only 132 pounds, lightweight, which is really silly considering how buff Vegeta is. Someone with his build should be much heavier. Yeah. There's no way Vegeta's 132 pounds while being brolic. I know Vegeta's a freaking smurf, but 132 pounds is actually insanity.
we get the infamous statement of Cell saying he has enough energy to destroy the entire solar system. Now, a lot of people will say, how does he know that? But I think you need to realize that when writers have their characters say things like this, their intention is to present this information to the audience.
Yeah.
So let's put our key strength at solar system busting level as we approach that one feat I know you're waiting for. That, of course, being Goku's training in heaven. That's right. I said.
Man, 40 tons? I can't do 40 tons. Goku.
At heaven, not King Kai's planet. A lot of people forget that this happens in heaven, hence it's not under 10 times gravity, and we need to take all of the weight mentioned at face value. Goku here is training with 8 tons of weight, and South Kai boosts the weight to 40 tons. Now, you might initially think, oh, it's a bit higher than Vegeta's previous gravity training, so it's internally consistent, right?
Nah.
Absolutely not. If you remember, during the Cell Saga, the Saiyans go through time chamber training that gives them a truly massive power boost. All of our Saiyans are easily around 50 times stronger than before their training. So, bare minimum,
Sure.
base Goku should be able to lift 1,400 tons after the time chamber,
If you
even
just wanna
going
put a
by
number to
nonsense
it, yeah.
stats. But once again, you can make the argument that somewhere around 30 tons is the actual physical limit without boosting yourself with ki. But once again, I'll mention that Toriyama definitely didn't intend for that. But assuming that's the case, then accounting for Super Saiyan 3, Goku's non-ki boosted limit is 12,000 tons. Now, on the other hand, in terms of their actual feats,
This is
I
bad,
personally
guys.
think Goku got around 1.4 times stronger since the Cell Saga, since he said they were nearing the limit of how strong their base forms could become. In the grand scheme of things, Super Saiyan 3 Goku is a lot stronger than Cell, but not by a massive amount. So Goku is really only something like 5 times above solar system level. It is
Excuse me? Super Saiyan 3 Goku is above Cell, but not by a lot? Y'all let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section below. Obviously we can't put numbers to that. That would be completely insane. I mean, actually, no, we can. Let's say base Goku is a 1, he turns Super Saiyan, let's say 50. Times 2 is 100. That's Super Saiyan 2 is 100. And then Super Saiyan 4, or Super Saiyan 3 is times 4 of Super Saiyan 2, so 400. So let's say Cell is 100. Let's say he's at least 4 times stronger than yeah, I guess. Yeah. All right.
It is mentioned that if released, Buu would destroy
What did he say? He's like 5 times
than
stronger?
Cell, but not by a massive amount. So Goku is really only something like 5 times above solar system level. It is mentioned that if released, Buu would
decently
destroy
fair.
the universe.
That's fair.
But considering
That's fair.
Buu seemingly lives forever, you can just say he would have destroyed it over the course of a long time, and not all at once. Of course, characters like Super Buu, Gohan, and especially Vegito are all significantly stronger than Goku. So let's try and find our final numbers. It's not really possible to put an exact number on Vegito.
You just gonna sneak Gohan in there? Like, I ain't noticed that. Super Saiyan 3 Goku or Ultimate Gohan. Hands behind my back. Gun to the back of my head. Fate of the universe. I'm taking Goku.
Vegito, but assuming his boost is greater than Gotenks's, he's probably at least 3,000 times above Goku. So assuming that, Vegito in Super Saiyan 3 could theoretically lift 72 million tons without ki. Unless you think fusion is only a multiplier for ki. In that case, Vegito would probably only be able to lift 24,000 tons. And in terms of ki
That sounds
enhanced strength,
insanely low.
he would be around 30,000 times solar system level. I wonder how much that would convert into in weight. What? I'm not doing that math. So
I don't
as you
blame
can
you.
see,
I
strength in
wouldn't either.
Dragon Ball is a pretty divisive topic. If you ignore the times characters mention specific weights, then the progression of power in Dragon Ball is pretty consistent.
it's cool.
Heck, even the examples of specific weights follows a decently consistent progression. It's just when you compare the actual feeds from the
Are you
show
blurry?
to the stated weight amounts that things get
There
a
you
bit
go.
ugly.
Oh my god.
I think
that
most
blue
of
looks
us can
so-
agree, though, Toriyama definitely didn't have a clear understanding of how heavy each unit of weight was. But moving on from that, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.
So recently, Volume
Oh dude. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. I was gonna react to this. Anyways. With that being said, it was a cool video. Yuriza, cool video. Definitely shows like, hey, Toriyama, Mr. Akira, sir. Where was the editor at during this? The editor always was changing something up, and he thought he just let all that slide. All that was cool. That was all cool. He was cool with that. But anyways, man, I hope y'all enjoyed my reaction. Leave y'all thoughts and comments, or thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. It's Lockie and Dez, man. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Make sure you drink a gallon of water a day. Go to the gym every day. And hit up that girl that you want to talk to. She probably gonna respond to you. You're him. And I'm out, bro. Peace.